Hey YouTube, your girl is back. Your girl is back with another YouTube video. Hey YouTube, your girl is back. Your girl is back. It's your girl Night and today, and I am back with another video. How is y'all doing tonight? How is everybody doing? Um, I know I said I was not going live until 8 o'clock, but I decided to come live a few minutes early just to talk about some things, just to talk about some things. If you are listening to my beautiful voice and you are not subscribed, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn those post notifications on. That way, you'll be notified every single time I post. And if you are not able to catch this live in real time, no worries at all. No worries at all. It will be available for replay. And if you are coming in, go ahead and speak to your girl. Tell your girl, hey, hey, hey. I know we're talking about my jazzy life today and everything that went down, child, which is very sad. So we're gonna get into some things. We'll get into some things I know we usually don't talk about my jazzy life. Wait, this is the thing. We've talked about her before, but she's not one of the people who I talked about consistently. But we're gonna revisit what went down. So if you watch the mommy sector, if you watch her, if you're familiar with that sector, that's what we're gonna we're gonna be getting into tonight. So y'all go ahead and tell your girl, hey, I see there's a few people watch, so speak to me so that I know that you're here. But yes, we is gonna go ahead and get started, honey, and then hit that like button on your way in. So, if you all, like I said, are familiar with the mommy sector, we got my girl, my Jazzy Life, honey. We are going to be talking about her today, and baby, it went down yesterday, last night. It went down, and I normally don't talk about the mommies that often because this is the thing. I originally started talking about them because a lot of people who listen to my commentary, they were very, they heard some of my perspective on other topics, and they were like, hey, why don't you do commentary on the mommies? And I do commentary sporadically on the moms here and there because it's kind of like, I watch their content and I see, a lot of times a lot of times they have a good bit of drama, but I'm not in the business of just like nitpicking people parenting. You know what I'm saying? I see more people joining. Y'all go ahead and say, hey, let me know you're here. Hey, hey, hey. But yeah, I'm not really in the business of nitpicking people parenting. And a lot of times the commentary and reactions on the mommy is pretty much gonna consist of you nitpicking their parenting because that's what they show majority of the time. So with that being said, a lot of times I spread my reactions out on them because here's the thing, before we get into everything that happened last night, there is, when it comes to my jazzy life, she obviously has some room for improvement, but so does a lot of people, including myself, including a lot of moms. And so I'm the type of person, if you ain't, doing something extremely neglectful, or if you ain't abusing nobody, or if you ain't over there hurting nobody, I pretty much, don't really get into, nitpicking the what you doing. Is you feeding your kids the right amount of food? Is you cleaning up the right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really get into all that. I know me, I've not have always not done everything the proper way, that people would want me to. My child kept a pacifier way longer than she was supposed to. My child slept with me way longer than she was supposed to. So there are just so many different things and so many different ways that you can look at parenting. And so, it's kind of hard for me to do the commentary on the mommy sometimes because for me, all of them are not just extremely bad. All of them, when you come to Strong Mommy Chrissy's, Live Life, My Jazzy Life, me, all of them, they all pretty much are okay to me when it comes to their day-to-day with their kids. You know what I'm saying? There are some things that they probably can improve on, but for me, it's just not nothing I'm going to nitpick. So that's why I don't talk about them that much. But in this instant, I did want to give my perspective because what happened yesterday sparked a lot of conversation. It was very, very not even interesting. It was very hard to watch. And, as someone who has, defended Jazzy before on my channel and kind of spoken up in favor of her, as well as other moms as well. I've defended Strong Mommy Chris before. As someone who's kind of given a positive perspective on Jazzy, when majority of the time that's not what she gets, I'm like, well, maybe if I put my perspective out here into the atmosphere, maybe she'll hear this and kind of listen to it because a lot of times, people do nitpick and go in on her. But this time, I'm going to be very honest. This time, the people had a point. Okay. This time the people kind of had a point, and we're going to get into it. So, last night, well, or yesterday, I guess the day before yesterday, my Jazz Life was chilling at her mom's house. She was chilling with the kids, and she has her baby daddy, Chris. He dropped her off over there or whatever. And a lot of people are not fond of Chris. The backstory, a lot of strong mommy Chrissy, when her and Jazzy fell out, she put it out there that Chris was, abusive. And what people see on camera, they feel like he doesn't like Jazzy. They feel like he's not for Jazzy. They just don't like him. He doesn't give off good vibes. And so the backstory really quickly is, he dropped her off to her mom's house, her and the kids, and she was ready to go. She was ready to go, and she was calling him for an hour, and he wasn't picking up. And I guess that made her mom upset. Her mom texted him. I guess he got smart with the mom. And so the mom went on to Facebook, and she kind of, talked about him. And she was just like, if a ninja don't respect your mom, he damn sure don't respect you. And that just caused a whirlwind of conversation, because as you all know, the people already been itching to talk about Jazz and Chris. Speculations have already been flying, and that caused just a whirlwind of drama. My Jazzy Life went live because Strong Mommy Chrissy entered the chat, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. She reached out to Jasmine mom. I don't know what was it, to get the tea or to give her 2 cents. I don't know what it was, but her and Strong Mommy Chrissy got into it. Jazzy went live. Her mom joined the chat, and she spilled the tea on what really happened. A lot of people were in the chat, talking to the mama crazy. A lot of people were scolding Jasmine for putting the man above her mama, and it just went crazy. Since then, her live has been deleted, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And so I'm going to give my perspective from the place of someone who, I'm not, like I said, I'm not someone who believes in bashing the mommies or going in on them. So I think that my perspective can be pretty fair. Maybe, this will put just not really neutral, but just a fair perspective out there without any underlying hate for Jasmine, because this truly was concerning to me. So first thing first, when it comes to Jasmine's relationship with her baby daddy, Chris, I know that grown folks gonna be grown folks, and you can't tell grown people what to do. When regardless of what other people think, when you in love, and she's an adult, and so she's going to have to deal with him whether we like it or that's her baby. She's have made him her baby daddy, or he's made her his baby mama, and so they have to deal with each other regardless, right? And you can't tell people when to be fed up, right? However, my observation, and just from my experience, when you got a man that don't nobody like, I understand that from the outside looking in, people sometimes don't know the whole story, and they're very critical and harsh on single moms who go out here and get other baby daddies and date. And so a lot of people just give a lot of men the side eye. And so I understand that, because I've been with somebody who people really didn't care for in the beginning. And so I understand that you cannot base your whole relationship around what people think. However, there have been too many speculations about this man being abusive and aggressive. And a lot of people do ride Jasmine a lot of times for any and everything. So, just playing devil's advocate, I could understand how she could be overwhelmed and defensive, because she does get a lot of flack for a lot of any and everything. I mean, she can sneeze the wrong way and they're going to be on her ass, right? But in this situation, sometimes you have to sit back and give yourself a reality check. And if your significant other is rubbing everybody the wrong way, and he's putting a bad taste in everybody's mouth, even though a lot of these people don't know you, when the people who know you outside of YouTube and the people who are with you in real life, when they start being offended and rubbed the wrong way, it's time to do some evaluation. That's first things first. Like I said, I understand Sometimes people are misunderstood. Sometimes a lot of men may come across as aggressive or nonchalant or mean to the outside world, but when they get behind closed doors with you, they're a teddy bear, right? So I understand how, a lot of people, they use their own judgment and they judge their man and they're not going to listen to what other people say. But if it's getting to the point where this man is getting into it with your mama, some in the milk ain't clean. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And there have just been one too many allegations of this man being rude, disrespectful, and just, distasteful. And, you know, from I don't understand if this man had your vehicle and he was riding in your car and he dropped you off, the fact that he would not answer his phone or communicate and leave you stranded, and then when your mama go to text him and see what's going on, he gets smart with her, that's a lot. That's a lot. And you may want to reevaluate or really do some, do some soul searching, because if someone can't even have enough respect to just keep their composure when talking to your mama, then it's kind of true what the mama said. They damn sure don't got no respect for you. And we don't know what goes on in Jazzy's household, right? We're not there with her. We don't know. But, old people always say, everybody ain't gonna keep saying the same thing without there being some type of truth to it. Chrissy knew you behind closed doors. There were allegations of it. Your mama done came out and said it. It seems like, Chris has some type of attitude or some type of temper problem, and it definitely is an issue that needs to not be overlooked. That's first things first. So I will say that even though, and we're gonna get into it, even though the way the information came out may not have been politically correct, and even though I do understand that my Jazzy Life is probably upset because she feels humiliated and embarrassed because she has people constantly attacking her every day, and now this, I get it, but you got to start looking at the root of the problem. And like I was just listening to my girl Tia Martin, she made a very valid point. Ever since the man came along, there has just been, hey, Nikki Nicole, hey. We talk about My Jazzy Life, honey. My Jazzy Life's baby daddy done disrespected her mama. Her mama done aired it out on social media. And now a lot of people are concerned because they feel like My Jazzy Life is over there getting abused by her man, and a lot of people just want her to wake up. And so that's what we're speaking about. But yes, but what was I saying? Look, my ADHD kicking in. I can't remember. Um, but long story short, what I was trying to say was, if this man left you stranded at your mama house and he had your vehicle and he didn't answer the phone, that in itself is just like, hell no. And getting into the big question is, well, and from Jazzy's perspective, why did my mom have to bring it to social media? That was dead wrong. A lot of people who were supporting Jasmine were in her chat like, okay, mom, dudes, we get where you coming from. You was upset with Chris, but why did you have to bring personal business to social media? Everybody hate Jasmine. Everybody want to always talk about her and everything she do and her kids, and now you have brought this onto social media, and now she feels humiliated. And I'm not gonna lie, on that one, I see both sides of it, because I have been in a situation before where I have been in a very toxic relationship, and my mom was there witnessing some of it. And, she was wanting to defend me and say something. And when you're in it and you just want peace, sometimes people chiming in and defending you makes it worse, right? However, that does not mean that the people are wrong for defending you. That does not mean that, you should still respect these people who care enough about you to defend you. Okay, no problem. But yeah, that doesn't mean that you should not respect the fact that these people care enough about you to defend you. But I can't pretend like, I don't know how it feels to feel like, damn, mama, why you had to say something? You know what I'm saying? So I understand where her frustration may come from. However, on the flip side of that, I've also been that family member that has had a boyfriend, dealing with somebody whose boyfriend was acting crazy. And a lot of times, you just are concerned about the person. So you go to the extreme. So I can see where Jazzy was coming from, and I can see where her mama was coming from. A lot of the people in her chat were like, oh, you should have never brought us to the internet. You should never did this. You should never did that. But at the end of the day, her mom's thought process could have been, this man done did something to my child. I think her mama was trying to call her. Jazzy wasn't answering. I don't know. I guess Jazzy had went on home with the sleep or whatever, and her mom was trying to get in touch with her. And she probably felt, I'm sick of him. I'm gonna expose this ninja. This ninja over here mistreating my baby. I'm about to expose him. And so, as a mother, I'm gonna do the most about my child too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna do the most about my baby too. So I can't really say. Nicole says, I think that the reactors, you talk so much bad stuff about her, and now they're acting like they're concerned is probably the issue. She's not gonna believe it also. Now y'all want me. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I can't see why Jazzy would be upset, because she gets a lot of flack. I will say that she gets a lot of heat for just anything. And so I could see why. I can't lie and act like I don't see why she would be on the defense or why she would be hesitant to receive advice from reactors, because they do drag her for any and every damn thing. And sometimes I'll be like, God damn, the lady over there keeping a roof over her head. She got all her kids in her custody. Her kids be happy, they be eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really see what's the big deal with her mothering. You know what I'm saying? But this situation was a little concerning. And as someone who has spoken up on her behalf before and spoken positively about her before, I'm like, well, you know what? Let me do just my perspective, just to put like a more, a more something that she probably can receive a little bit better, coming from someone who, who has spoken up for her before. It says, you are so different. You come 100% ugly, beautiful, raw, cut, whatever you're going to speak the truth. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I can't sit up here and act like I don't understand why Jasmine would be, upset and humiliated, because when you have everybody already attacking you, the last thing you need is for your mama to come spill a tea. So could her mom probably have, handled a little bit different and kept the family business off of YouTube? Could she probably have, did another way? Most definitely, right? But as a mom myself, when you feel like somebody messed with your child, sometimes you lose your mind and you just go crazy. So I can understand both sides of that. Now, moving into Strong Mommy Chrissy chiming in. Now, there's the thing about that. Now, this is the thing, and I also don't think Strong Mommy Chrissy is as terrible as people paint her out to be. I have defended her before as well on my channel, but I'm gonna say in this situation, with her reaching out to Jasmine mom and with her putting her 2 cents in, she was dead ass wrong. Okay, because even though this situation with Jasmine is a lot, and it seems like she over there with that man, and it seems like he is something else going on that we don't know about. Let's just keep it all the way real. Strong Mommy Chrissy, and like I said, I have defended her before as well, but baby, you don't got no room to talk or judge. Okay. So basically, in the midst of all this drama that's going on with My Jazzy Life, and in the midst of everything that's going on with her and her mama going back and forth, then she starts going, she went live because of Strong Mommy Chrissy. So I'm pretty sure she's over there having it out with her mama behind the scenes, or just in distraught because her mom has put her business out. And then she sees that Strong Mommy Chrissy has reached out to her mom. So that's what kind of causes her to kind of go live, and that's what prompted all of that, because she goes live to basically tell Chrissy to mind her damn business. She put an Instagram post up. Strong Mommy Chrissy came live and said, girl, F you, and then they just started going back and forth. And I'm sorry, This is a thing that kind of annoys me about the way Strong Mommy Chrissy is always coming at Jazzy. We understand there may be some hurt there because you all were friends. You wanted the best for Jazzy Chrissy. You wanted to help her. You tried to give her advice. You tried to guide her, and she kind of said F you, right? And it don't even seem like she said F you. It seemed like you just distanced yourself from her because she wasn't living the way that you wanted to leave. And then that's what prompted her to say F you. But in all actuality, I'm going to be real. I'm going to say what nobody else wants to say because Chrissy has made a lot of changes. She's not as transparent on her channel. So a lot of people have, kind of given her flowers because she has kind of not evolved, but she's not as dramatic as she used to be. But baby, you listen, your life is not all the way together either. You were dealing with DV as well. Your man had multiple mug shots as well. So if I'm my Jazzy Life and you're in just as much of a effed up situation as I am, and somebody going upside your head, and you got chaos going on in your life, maybe the reason why she couldn't receive your advice is because you ain't in no better position than she was. So it kind of annoyed me to see thank you, Nick and Nicole. It kind of annoyed me to see Strong Mommy Chrissy speaking on this. It's because, ma'am, you was now, yes, let's say, okay, yes, you left the man alone and you moved on with your life, right? But you also moved a man into your home with your kids. The man obviously didn't have as much going on because he was too busy over there raising hell with you, and you had to call the police on him multiple times. So you was over there putting up with a little bit more than what you should have put up with as well. And when it got exposed on the internet, you also came to the forefront and deflected and tried to downplay the situation when you had violence going on in your household. So it really kind of annoyed me to see her talk about this because it's like, sis, when it was your man with the mug shots and the family violence charges, you wanted to get on here and make it seem like, oh, it was nothing. He wasn't beating me. He wasn't doing anything. We were just having a little tussle. No, ma'am. You was calling the police on him because he was getting aggressive. Ain't nobody calling no police on nobody who ain't being abusive. Your man was abusive as well. And you got on here and you downplayed the hell out of it because you didn't want folks in your business. So how you gonna get mad at Jazzy for not listening to you and not taking your advice when you ain't in no better position than she is? Both of you all have a poor choice in men, okay? That part just kind of sent me because it's like, girl, don't get me wrong. I watched Mommy Chrissy for a while. I think that's how I found out about Jazzy's channel was through Strong Mommy Chrissy's channel. Nikki Nicole says that part. Okay. But yeah, I found out about Strong Mommy's Chrissy, her channel through Jazzy's channel. And she has evolved and she doesn't show as much. And she does do a good job of, not putting all her drama and her business out here. She has kind of, taking a more, just reserved approach to this. And so I have acknowledged her for kind of evolving and just her channel has evolved. But baby, behind the scenes, you still very much so has chaos going on in your life. You're moving every 6 months. You got 9 kids. You got a man up in your house with multiple mug shots. Well, not no more. You don't broke up with him, but you had a man over there, acting crazy in front of your kids also. Okay? So you don't got no room. Please be quiet. Cause how you gonna tell Jazzy any damn thing and you ain't even got your life all together? I've always said it. Out of, because it be her, Olivia, and Chris. It's always Jazz, Olivia, and Chris. Always going back and forth. I'm gonna be very honest. Out of the 3 of them, regardless of what she may have going on in her love life right now, Jazzy has shown the most stability. Let's just keep it all the way real. Okay, she has shown the most stability. We don't see her up and moving and getting evicted every 6 months. We don't see, and even though there's the speculations out there about Chris, ain't no mug shot surfaced. Okay, her kids ain't been removed from the household, and this is just no shade, but this is just the facts. So I did not understand why Chrissy would even reach out to Jazz's mom, especially when she got a plethora of children and I'm pretty sure her own problems. You just had to pick up and move 9 kids to a whole other state yet again. You are always moving. You always got something going on. You ain't got no room to be worried about what's going on with Jazzy, especially being that you claim you don't F with her and you're so above her. And don't get me wrong, Chrissy feels like, well, Jazzy and Olivia, they've been petty towards me before. They don't contacted my ex and his baby, his new girlfriend or whatever. So I don't give a damn. But you know, if you're gonna be messy, then just own it and be messy. But don't come on here trying to act as if Jasmine is wrong for being upset with you, because of course she's gonna be pissed off at you. Her mama just put the business out there. She already got to deal with that, and then here you come trying to be petty too. So the same way you clap back at them when you found out they was communicating with your baby dad and new girlfriend, that's what she did to you. It's fair. It's fair. The thing that kind of irritates me about her is and like I said, this does not mean I dislike her, because I still have, like I said, I still think that she has gotten some unfair judgment in the past as well. But it's kind of annoying how she always claps back and kind of plays his victim role when it comes to her and Jasmine. When at the end of the day, y'all are two of y'all are the same. It's no difference. You have not risen above nothing. You can't tell her nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just, as much as you feel like her and Olivia may have been petty towards you, you be petty too. You be in everybody, you be not in everybody, but you be in the main reactor chat who criticize her and degrade her. You be front and center laughing with your teacup. You don't talk about her child before, so you ain't innocent, ma'am. So that's just how I feel about Chrissy entering the chat. Um, but I think that all in all, a lot of people, the next thing is, a lot of people feel like, Jazzy, is she in a DV situation? And that is the most concerning part to me, because I feel like there's something going on. A lot of people didn't like the way that Jasmine was speaking to her mother. A lot of people felt like she was deflecting. A lot of people felt like she was putting Chris before her mom. A lot of people just felt like they were very upset with her for how she handled it. And, I think that she could have definitely handled it differently. But I think that more than anything, just looking at the live, I think that she was just embarrassed and she doesn't know what to do. I didn't even really get that she was just, I mean, of course she was upset with her mom, but I think that the frustration was just because she does not know what to do. I think that she's created a mess that she just does not know how to get herself out of. And I think that my heart goes out to her, because I see so many women literally spend their whole life chasing this idea that society has put into our head, that we just gotta have somebody, right? Society has, and it has beat it into our head, because of, of course, most of us are raised on Christian values. You're supposed to be married, you're supposed to have a husband, you're supposed to have a child. But a lot of us spend our whole lives chasing that, wanting to be married one day, wanting to, have a partner. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to have a family of their that they can call their own. And so what's sad is you see so many women spending their entire youthfulness, their youthhood, if that's a word, chasing that, and running into brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. And they're willing to sacrifice everything that they work hard for. They're willing to sacrifice every piece of sanity to have that. And when they get it, it's not even all that. You know what I'm saying? They're chasing these partners who are not even really good men. They're chasing these partners who don't like them or respect them. And the time that, one spends chasing this idea of, the American dream, having that husband, having these babies, having a family, the time that you spend chasing it with no success, you could just spend pouring that back into yourself. And so this is not to beat Jasmine up, because like I said, hey Danny, hey. This is not to come down on her or just, criticize her, but this is just to give some advice and love. I'm only 30 years old, so I got a lot more living to do. But it's okay to put yourself and your children first, and just take a break from the toxic relationships. All that, arguing, fussing, fighting, that is something that, as adults especially, 30 and up, um, we should be past that. We're not teenagers anymore. We're not 18, 19, 20-year old who don't know how to communicate. We're grown. And there should be peace in your household. Not saying that you Danny says it's getting sadder and sadder in the YouTube street. It is. It is. It says, yes, please, kids and peace of mind first, y'all. Exactly. I'm not saying that you may not have a disagreement with your partner. I'm not saying that, it got to be perfect before you get into a relationship. Relationships require work, and they require sacrifice, and they require a lot. However, it should be peaceful. There is a way to agree to disagree. There is a way to say, you know what? We ain't going to do this in front of the kids. There is a way that you can have a healthy relationship that still has its ups and downs, because we're all human, right? But there's a way that you can do that with peace. And if the person who you're with does not provide that peace, then you need to keep it moving, because you have too many children. You have daughters who are looking up to you, and they don't deserve to be in a situation where someone's being aggressive with their mom. People were saying, there were dents in her refrigerator. Even her mom in the chat said, I was just scared he was going to hurt you. Danny said being rude to someone's mother is a huge flag on the play. A huge flag on the play, Danny. Because listen, I have talked to men who are straight from the streets, who will slap a nigga down in a heartbeat. But they have never, no man that I have ever dated has ever disrespected my mom for no reason. Now, the only thing that's ever happened was, I know, like, when you have kids, like me and my baby daddy, when you first when we were first had our baby, there was a little bit of static, with the in-laws. Him and my mom had a few words, and me and his mom probably didn't always agree, but it was never just utter disrespect. It probably been my mama didn't like some, my mama said some, you know what I'm saying? Because she the grandma, and she gonna speak her damn mind, and he gonna express himself. But nobody has ever just blatantly disrespected my mom, and all she did was just wonder, hey, when you gonna come pick my daughter up and the kids? Like, nobody has ever just did that. And I've talked to some thugs, okay? I Not even thugs, but I've talked to some men who are from the streets, what I'm saying, who are no nonsense, who don't take no shit, but they never have ever thought about disrespecting my mama. Ever. And they've never, thought about, you know, acting crazy in front of my child. Like, that just, that to me is just like, if somebody don't respect the elders and your mom, they don't respect you. And so, it's just, I said, girl, my mom hated my first boyfriend, and he wouldn't dare disrespect. Okay. Like, my mama would talk shit. And when I first had my baby, she was in grandma mode, and she was talking shit. And my baby daddy, he said what he had to say, but then he went on about his business. It was just like, because it's understood, like, this is somebody's mom, you know. But all in all, I said all that to say, um, you know, I just, my message to my jazz life would be, put yourself and your kids first. You don't have to go through all of that just to have what society says you're supposed to have. You don't have to have a man living up under you and your kids. You don't have to go through hell and back trying to have a partner. Sometimes there's a season of separation or isolation, so that way you can be the best version of yourself. And it doesn't mean you have to be lonely. It doesn't have to mean that you can't have male companionship, but maybe, and if like I said, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but maybe what happened yesterday was just God trying to speak to you and tell you to wake up. Maybe it was, God just letting you know that, hey, maybe I want you to grow. I want you to do something different. I want you to break the cycle of toxic relationships. I want you to break the cycle of pouring your all into a disrespectful man. I want you to put yourself first. So it's unfortunate that it made it to the internet, what happened behind closed doors. And I'm pretty sure it's humiliating, because some people don't have Jasmine best interest in heart. Some people hate Jasmine, and some people find, some people, you know I can understand why she wouldn't want to take advice from everybody, because some people have given her a really hard time on this platform. We can all say that. But some things happen for a reason. And maybe this is happening to wake you up. Maybe, you know, your mom coming to the internet, was what needed to happen to so that everything can be put on the table. You know what I'm saying? It was unfortunate, but maybe God is trying to open your eyes for you to look deeper. You know what I'm saying? Um said preach. Hey, Angela Brooks. Hey, hey, hey. And like I said, no one knows what anyone goes through behind closed doors. But I do think that, Chris is, there's something not right over there with him. Because for you to keep someone's vehicle and for you to have your child somewhere and for you to not answer your phone, that speaks volumes. That's just disrespectful and childish. That is a sign of abuse. And I know a lot of people, some people might be like, girl, you doing the most. That don't mean he abusing her. And it could not even be physical. You know what I'm saying? But somebody in my car, they drop me off and they're not answering their phone, would drive me crazy. And I've been in that situation before. I've been in a situation where I have been in a relationship and you want to drive my car, but you want to walk out the door and not tell me where you want to go. I've been in a relationship where you want to get my car, but you don't want to halfway answer your phone. And that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good. And that's why I had to remove myself. And I told myself that, hey, Glenna, hey, hey, hey. But yeah, and I told myself that I am perfect. I am preparing myself at 30 years old. I'm preparing myself that if I never have a traditional relationship where it's me and the man in the household and all that, if I never have that again, I'll be okay. And I'm not, no, your girl ain't lonely now. You know what I'm saying? I definitely have a love life. Okay. But what I mean is I'm okay with not having the quote unquote white picket fence that the world tells us we have to have, because a lot of times the white picket fence behind it is some bullshit. Okay. And you don't have to put yourself through the ringer trying to be in love. Love should be easy and painless. I'm perfectly fine with me having my own household, and maybe you have to date in different ways. Maybe you and whoever you're dating, maybe y'all have to live separately. Maybe you have to say, you know what? I need my own place. You need your own place. So that way, when we get into it, you go on your way, I go on mine. And then we come back and you know what I'm saying? Like, I think people need to start exploring different type of relationships and different type of ways to, just coexist with, you know, in a romantic way with others. Because this whole, you're a single mom, move a man in, give the man more power than he needs. He start disrespecting you. Now you're in shambles. Now you're gonna be depressed. Now, hey, CC's life. Hey, hey, hey. But yeah, now you got to go through this in front of all your kids. I remember being a child, and I remember what it feels like hearing my mom arguing, and hearing my mom fussing. That's traumatizing. That gives people anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Lord, hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second, you guys. Hold on one moment. One moment. Okay, I'm sorry about that. That was my mom. But but yeah, I remember what it was like being a child and hearing grown people arguing and hearing I remember that. And my childhood wasn't bad or anything like that, but just a few times I have witnessed that. I just didn't like it, and I always told myself that I just am not going to put my child through that. I'm not going to, and I don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I have been in a long-term relationship longer than I was supposed to before, and it's just it's a big sigh of relief when you finally break free from those shackles of feeling like you gotta shack up, you gotta live with somebody, you gotta coexist with somebody. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to pour all that into another human being. You know what I'm saying? And so if this ninja is coming in and there's nothing but chaos and drama, maybe, that is the universe trying to tell you something. Maybe you need to open up your eyes, and maybe he's not the person for you. Because, yeah, when Strong Mommy Chrissy, when she said that about him, it was kind of like, she don't have no room to talk, right? But her mom was, in that chat, and she was really concerned, and she was like, Mom, you need to stop listening to reactors. But I'm like, no, she know you in real life. And for her to be, she's witnessing this with her own two eyes. And, you know, it's just something to think about. But we'll see how it plays out. I don't think my Jazzy has been back on the YouTube street since that has happened. And when that, to see how she was looking, it's just, you could see the worry. Danny says this may be her final warning too. Now, yeah, warning comes before destruction. And this is not me speaking anything into existence or wishing that on her, but I just got a bad feeling about this Chris dude. He seems like bad news. And it says you let your own mom get disrespected and be fearful for your life. It must be bad. It says, what happened? Yeah, Jazzy, my Jazzy Life, her baby daddy, Chris, or her boyfriend, he disrespected her mom. He left her stranded at her mom's house. She was calling him off the hook, and the mom just tried to step in and try to see where he was at, and he disrespected her, and it just blew up from there. And, it's just, it's something going on. There's been allegation that he's been aggressive, he's been rude, They say there are dents on the refrigerator. Look, I keep going back to the dents on the refrigerator, but he punched in the refrigerator. Apparently, it's just her mom's in the chat saying she was scared that he was gonna hurt her. Something has happened. Your mama ain't saying that for no reason. She know you better than all of us. She know you offline. So we just gonna keep her lifted in prayer. And hopefully, she chooses herself and her kids first. And like I said, I normally, I spread out my content about the mommies because I don't know, I don't think that Jazz is a terrible person. I don't think that she deserves to lose her kids. I don't think that a lot of the things, I think a lot of times people do give her a lot of, they do get on her a lot for a lot. And I don't think that she's just this terrible person that people make her out to be. So, even though this time, my opinion is kind of the same as the masses, my Jazzy Life, if you ever hear this, you're still, I still think that you're not that bad that people try to make you out to be. I think there's just a lot of growth that needs to happen. And I think that a lot of times some people are just mean and just, like to pick. But I think that a lot of times it just gets frustrating as Black women seeing other Black women just kind of fall into the same stereotypical roles. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, we ain't gotta be nobody. We ain't gotta have no house full of kids and different men. We ain't gotta do all that. We ain't gotta keep meeting men, having babies for them. We ain't gotta keep doing that. We could change the narrative a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going anywhere. It's not getting us what we deserve. You know what I'm saying? It's time to switch it up. If you never walk down that aisle, okay, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? If you never have that picture perfect life, okay. It's like, I think that people need to start being okay with that. Start expanding your mind. Like, you don't have to have a man, or you don't have to have a man in a way where it invades your space and your peace. It's ways you can do things. Glenna says, my mother was defending me against my former fiance, and he was up in my mother's face. It was over with him in a New York minute. Okay. Like, because if you are not afraid to go at somebody, mama, oh, you'll definitely come at my throat. So yeah, and that would just be a wrap, because, even though a lot of people are saying that her mom could have kept it off the internet, had he not been being an asshole, none of this would have happened. So, because it was like there was no reason for you to get disrespectful with her mom. It was no reason at all for you to be ignoring her phone call. She had been calling you all night. Come get her and them kids. That was just ridiculous. And I just, you like, but that's what concerned me. It's like that, because that's just disrespectful. Right. Who play by their mama? Nobody don't play by their mama. Nobody don't play none of that. Okay. you know and a lot of people, a lot of women, like to say, well, it's my relationship, and I can't, let my family control my relationship. And that's true. You can't let your family and friends dictate your love life. But we I mean, if we could pretty much, just learn from past mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You can pretty much tell when somebody ain't hitting on shit. And it just seems like he ain't. But it was good talking to y'all. I was hanging with y'all tonight. I just want to come through. It says men come and go, but you can't say that used to be your mom. Okay. Okay. You only get one mama. Her mom has never done that before. Nah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this was her mom's first time. I think this was her mom's first time doing that. And that's why I think that this time had to be. She probably was fed up. So that's why I think it's bad, because the mother willing to go public with her fear. Yeah. Like, I think that was her mom way of just like, crying out for help. I think that was her mom's way of like, okay, we're not going to keep doing this. I'm going to embarrass you today because, you're not going to keep doing my child like this. And I think that was what her mom did. Now, unfortunately, it backfired. And of course, Jazz is going to be the one that gets all the flack and the heat for it. So that's the sad part about it, because really it's Chris's fault. He's really the root of the damn problem. And I think that, that should also be spoken about more, is that, even though this is something that Jasmine may be allowing, he is, honestly, all of this is his fault, because he just should have done that. But she also has to put her foot down and just choose a better partner. So yeah, I agree. I think that her mom was just fed up and reached a breaking point. And like her mom said, she was scared for her daughter. And I believe her mama. Everybody be like, oh, you just being, you exaggerating, you shit. Her mama listens to no reactors. Her mama, you know, was definitely fearful. Now, what I don't understand is why her mom is talking strong on Chrissy. That part I don't get. I think that is a little messy. Now that I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? If she don't fool with your daughter, she don't talk about your grandson, I wouldn't have anything to say about to her. Worry about your own kids and your own family, But other than that, I think the mom was genuinely concerned. But we shall see. Like I said, I know that, it has to be tough for Jansen, because it's like, damn, I can't catch a break, and I know that has got to be overwhelming. So I really feel for her in this situation. And I just hope and pray that, it just gets better. And, and maybe, it would take for Chris to just look, if she's not your cup of tea, if you don't want to respect her, if you don't think enough of her to, extend grace and just be a good person to her and her family, then just, go ahead. It says, huh? Yeah, that's what they got into it about. That's why Jazzy went live. Jazzy went live. She was mad because I think Chrissy had reached out to her mom or something. I don't think that they've been talking. Like, I don't know if they've been talking consistently, but yeah, that's the whole reason why Jazzy didn't initially go live on her mom. She went live because Strong Mommy Chrissy, I guess, was reaching out to her mom. Yeah, that was a little messy right there. Nah, Mom Dukes, nah, you know. That part I didn't understand, but yeah, that's why she went live, because she was initially going live to go in on Chrissy, and her mom just ended up coming in the chat while all that was going on. So yeah, but we'll see how it pans out. I know this is, because this is the thing. It's kind of difficult for Jazz, because this is her job, right? It's kind of like, this is how I feed my family, and I can't even clock into work without it always being an attack on me. So I get it, girl, but you got to start looking at all the angles of the problem. It's not just the internet, it's not just reactors, it's the fact that you may have a man around you who does not respect you or what you have going on. And that definitely needs to be reevaluated. But yeah, but it was good talking to y'all tonight, honey. Yes, honey, law. It don't yes. But we'll see. We shall see. Hopefully it gets better. I'm gonna stay tuned. I'm gonna stay tuned. But I just wanted to come chat with y'all really quickly. But yeah, we gonna pray for my Jazzy. I think that she's even though this situation is unfortunate, we when it comes, and this is just playing devil's advocate, she ain't did nothing no worse than the rest of these moms have done. We have seen a lot of these moms make the wrong choice in men. She's just still in the situation, and some people have gotten out. That's all. That is all. But in no way, shape, or form do people need to be just laughing at her pain or just taunting her. It's just pray for it, and move and move on with it, and just don't even though she could have handled it differently, and I agree she could have handled differently. I still don't feel like she's a terrible person who deserves to lose it all. I think that she just needs to wake up and needs some guidance. That's all. Yeah, so much crazy stuff. It is sad. It is sad. It is sad. It's like a soap opera, honey. It is. It's like every time you look up, it's just like, oh my goodness. So whew, I guess we'll see how it all ends, honey. Look, as the world turns on the YouTube streets, as the world turns, honey. But I feel bad for her. But I hope that she just really uses this as a wake up call. Sometimes that humiliation and that embarrassment is what you need to kind of bounce back. I'm gonna tell y'all a story before I go. And y'all, I think I've told this story before, but I'll never forget. I got proposed to. We was on, we was on Facebook Live. I'm talking about everybody telling me congratulations. Like there was one point in my life where I was just like, I just knew like I was the happiest woman ever. Like I was just prepared to settle down and be a wife, even though I knew that I was with a habitual cheater and liar. I was just like, you know what? I've gotten engaged. Everybody's excited. We're gonna have a wedding. I just was on cloud nine. And just, but it was always, just little signs and little things going on that just were like sneaky. Like I was just seeing so many, like just it was just a lot. It's so too much to even talk about. And I remember just feeling so embarrassed because I finally hacked into his phone and I found all type of just videos and messages and things that had been going on behind my back for years that I kind of people were dropping hints about, but I just never just kind of knew all the way. But I saw like with my own two eyes, like video footage, text message, just everything. I'm talking about I had Cash App, all of that. And I just remember feeling so humiliated because here I am. I've told everybody that I'm getting married. Everybody is asking me when the wedding is. I'm at work. I'm wearing the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big thing. And I have, I'm getting cheated on like hell. And that embarrassment really pushed me to walk away. Had I never felt that humiliation and that embarrassment, and the amount of women who probably were laughing at me because they was like, this girl, yeah, people don't have no shame. But yeah, I just the amount of women who probably were laughing at me because they was like, oh, girl, this man, you are gonna get married to him. That embarrassment is what motivated me to walk away from that situation and move on. And it's no shade to the person because I feel like some people are just sometimes some people just don't need to be in a relationship. Like some people they just have a problem with their flesh, right? The person like he wasn't just like a terrible person, but he just was lustful. You know what I'm saying? He just wasn't made for a relationship. But with that being said, that embarrassment motivated me to walk away from that entire situation. I'm talking about I walked away from the apartment. I walked away from everything. And I just pressed reset on my life. And I changed my mindset and I changed the way that the way that I would move going forward. And so now in my love life, I have just boundaries, and I have things that I'm willing to compromise on. I have things that I'm not willing to compromise on. And I think that, you know, if it was not for the humiliation and embarrassment, I would not have been able to grow into a better person. I would not have been able to, press reset on my life and, prosper and finally walk into a season where it's just all about me and my child, and anything else is just extra. I still have a love life, definitely, but, I am in control, and I get to kind of call the shots on what I will and will not allow in my space. And I'm not cohabitating. I'm not going to merge my life with a man for a while. And it feels good for it just to be about me and my child. And, with all that being said, sometimes you need that humiliation. Sometimes you need that embarrassment. And so that can fuel the biggest glow up ever. Okay. So if it wasn't for that, all that the embarrassing text message and videos and all this, and everybody who had knew my business, I just felt so exposed. If it wasn't for that, I would have never glue up. So that embarrassment kind of lit the gas, and it burned the fire for me to really, evolve into just, my own person that's outside of a man. And that was one of the best things I could have done. So, it's, yes, very devastating. It says better ended before divorce had to end, which is worse. Right. And so I would have rather had that temporary embarrassment than, permanent regret trying to force a relationship with someone who just, wasn't interested in what I was interested in, and so my jazzy life, if you're listening, you may feel embarrassed, you may feel humiliated, you may feel like, damn, this is just another thing that people are gonna talk about. That's exactly how I feel. I felt like, damn. Now people gonna say this. Now people gonna say that. Now the folks gonna be like, I told you so. But sometimes that's what you need to motivate you to get out of that situation and never go back. And I don't ever see myself ever dealing with that type of stuff again. I may get cheated on again. You know what I'm saying? I can't control what other people do, but I will never handle it, and I would never, I learned from that. You know what I'm saying? I would never go back to dealing with it. I would never stay with somebody for years and years and keep catching them lying and cheating over and over again. I would never live with somebody and, mix bills with somebody and I would never do that again. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the best lessons I learned in life. So, you know, yeah, it brings growth. It brings growth. So it definitely brings growth. So my jazz in life, yes, right now, today you're feeling humiliated, you're feeling defeated, you're feeling like everybody know your business, you're feeling like, you can't catch a break, you're feeling betrayed, you feeling hurt. But maybe this is what you need. Maybe this is gonna be that push that you need to make some changes, because sometimes God will keep allowing the chaos to just happen over and over again because he wants to push you out of certain situations and out of certain places, you know? So that's just a word. It says, what are your thoughts on Twitch? Who is Twitch? Is that Ellen's assistant, right? Was that his name? I think that was very sad. I think it was very sad and devastating, if that's what you're talking about. I think that was very, very devastating. However, and I don't want to be the one to be like this because people always got something to say, but there's been a lot of weird stuff that they say is going on with like people in Hollywood, and they say there's a lot of other stuff. So it's very suspicious. I will say that, but I don't want to speak too much about that because I don't know the whole story. But it'd be a lot of weird stuff going on with celebrities. It just do. So even though it's kind of like, it seems unreal. So I don't know. No, that's one I don't know. But that was very sad though. But yeah. But thank y'all for hanging in here with me tonight and talking to me. I really enjoyed you guys. And we just gonna keep my Jazzy lifted in prayer. We're gonna keep her lifted in prayer. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that was very sad and devastating, but it just don't seem right. And I don't want to be one of them conspiracy theory people, but I don't know. I don't know. Lord, let me be quiet before the people come. You know what I'm saying? Lord, let me be quiet, honey. But it just don't seem right. So I don't know. I hope ain't nothing fishy going on, but prayers to his family as well, because that was very, very devastating. But yeah, but I love you all. I thank you for hanging in here with me. And like I said, I'm trying to be more consistent. I'm trying to do my lives at least once a week. And maybe it can become twice a week and 3 times a week. Who knows? I've been doing good. I've been doing good. But I will see you all in my next video. I love y'all. Happy holidays. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. See y'all later.